Hello.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I was like overcompensating.
Very enthusiastic.
Yes, this is Danielle Schneider.
I'm Casey Wilson.
Welcome to Bitch Sesh.
Real Housewives Breakdown Show.
It's just the two of us tonight.
Just cozy in the nook.
Just footloose and fancy free.
I have a hat on. I have a blanket at the table, which you don't often see.
No, but I'm enjoying it.
An Ugg slipper.
I know, you've really settled in. Are you going to go to sleep at some point during this podcast?
When we were decorating our house, I would say about every single piece of furniture, I'm like, could it be more comfortable? And my husband's like, you would want, literally, I want chairs at dining room table that are like mattresses that you can like lie down.
I grew up in a house where you were not allowed on most of the furniture. You were not. There were rooms I never sat in. And my parents finally sold their house, and there's a room I just was not allowed in.
Wow. See, I grew up in a house where we did most things from bed.
No.
Eat, talk, everything was just kind of like headquarters was my parents' bed.
No.
You needed them.
I was not allowed in my parents, but not really. Like, I remember like my mom would be there at like the end of the day, like watching Law and Order or some murdering women show. And I would like go and like sit by her, and it was just sort of like, it felt uncomfortable.
You weren't
like
wanted there.
I wasn't wanted and needed, and I knew that, and I would be on my way. But like my parents' bed was never a place that was like, oh, my sanctuary. I mean, my parents were lovely people, but that was just not where
my mom, like, it was too much of a sanctuary. Like, she would play this game that it was her kind of game to spend time with us, but at the same time it was, and I will probably do this with my kids, she'd be like, and she talked in this baby voice that we use for my dog quite a bit to me when I was quite older. She's like, let's play girlfriends. Okay. So when we would play girlfriends, it meant that she'd pick up our girlfriends from middle school or high school, drive to 7-Eleven. She'd be like, everybody get whatever you want. So everyone would fill their pockets. And again, you're thinking, what a fun mom, you know?
I would love this.
We'd listen to the Mermaid soundtrack and get out of the sunroof. And so that again was very fun.
Sounds like a dream.
Well, then we come home and watch blockbuster movies and order Domino's and Cokes and get in bed. My mom would immediately fall asleep for 3 hours. And so think about that, though. It's like your friends are in bed with your mom and she's asleep.
Honestly, this does sound like a dream.
It is fun, but it's weird. You know, like my mom would be like getting in a nightie in the middle of the day. It's like she always wanted to do everything in bed and then would be asleep, but it kind of looked like she was hanging out.
My friends were always afraid of my mother. Like,
my friends were terrified.
Terrified. Like, they would be, hello, Miss Schneider, and then like go into my room and be like, should I go? Like, it was always very sort of like, you know, like that was the adults were treated as adults, and you were sort of like, oh, we don't speak, we shouldn't be heard from. She didn't want to know like comings or goings.
She didn't want to be disturbed.
Yeah, she didn't want to be disturbed, and so. But I think I'll be in my daughter's business. Like, I'll be like, what's the scoop?
People called
What's
my
the
mom Kathy. I'll do anything for my daughter Wilson, which is a tough nickname to have.
Honestly,
from friends.
Coming from like I would love that. That sounds amazing.
It's hard to be scared of a woman who my mom would regularly pick me up in a purple Speedo one-piece bathing suit with a fur coat around over it.
What was the decision behind that?
Birkenstocks.
Was she going swimming?
I mean, much like what I'm wearing right now, my mom didn't give a fuck. She'd be sometimes gardening in the bathing suit and it was like, time to get me, and just like, let me throw on my fur. And she could have given a fuck. But it was a shocking look.
My mom was always, my mom went back to work at some point, but until then was always, rain or shine, in a Lessay tennis skirt.
Oh, wow.
Like a brand from the 80s, like my mom was always like head to toe ready to hit the court.
Really?
Yes.
Like at any moment's notice?
Any moment's notice, she could meet you at the court.
Wow.
And like it was always like on a wintry day, on a
that
blustery
sounds so
day in Atlanta.
Sophisticated.
She would be like, no, it was more sporty.
Very functional.
Very functional. But always like, we would just be in the mall. She would just be like in a tennis skirt.
Ready for a game.
Ready for a game at a minute's notice.
My mom was ready for a nap at a minute's notice.
Swim, it seems.
Oh, no, never swam in it.
My mom would never get her hair wet. She always was like, she would always like be swimming breaststroke, but like her head never touched the pool.
Yeah,
it was always
she
shocking
didn't want
to me.
She seems very put together.
She still is.
Yeah,
she looks fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, she's never had like a bagel with the stuff still in a bagel. Like it's always like a bagel crust.
Wow,
That's my mom.
I would watch my mom eat like a full bag, if not two, of those you know those Nantucket, they're the Pepperidge Farm company, but the Nantucket like big cookies, like a full bag. Yeah. And then again, passed out immediately in what looked like a suicide pact with our beagle. People were like, is your mom okay? I was like, I don't know, actually.
My mom would always pretend she didn't like my dog, but then you'd like catch her kissing the dog and you'd be like, Mom. She'd be like, get away, Chrissy. Like she never wanted to be sort of caught, in the moment with the dog.
I wish they could have hosted this podcast.
Me too. My mom would be like, watch Real Housewives. My mom is mostly into my mom watches Seinfeld and murder. Like
my mom's passed.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but I was just making a joke.
But anyway.
Wish my mom had seen The Housewives. No kidding. She's missed so much. Actually, she really didn't miss much on that front.
Do you think your mom would have enjoyed The Housewives?
I think so. I'm not sure. She was a big feminist, so I don't know which way she would have gone on it.
Yeah, as we know, you can go many ways. Gloria Steinem has
chosen a different path for herself.
But we have dove right in, and we are huge feminists.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of parents, Danielle.
Yes.
So you came to my home for the Oscars this week.
I sure did.
Which was so fun.
Wow.
The Oscars, wow.
These Oscars were, boring in some way. I felt them to be quite oh God. It felt like it went on forever.
It was a slog.
Yeah.
It was almost 4 hours.
Yes. It felt and you felt those hours. It's just nothing happened. There was no Dazim or whatever that nothing had happened.
Nothing had happened really. Everybody looked pretty good. It wasn't.
Everyone was super behaved. What you thought would happen. Who you thought would win. Did win. No surprises.
Until
the last
minute
and a half.
When after La La Land won, we all, in at least our place, were immediately brass tacks, score your ballots.
Yeah, so I gotta get out of here. Everyone, I gotta take a piss. It was all very rudimentary.
Everybody put their heads down, was just trying to figure out the math, who won. Uh-huh. And then, everyone saw
it. But then there was they didn't win, and we were all shocked.
It was so thrilling.
It was. I, at some point, was I need you to rewind this, right? I said to your husband, David, I said, please rewind this now so I can see the moment everyone realizes. And he was
which is the best.
Yeah. How it starts coming down. I needed to put it all together. It's like watching the movie JFK. I just needed to know where the bullet was coming from. And
watching it again, the saddest part is the producers giving their speeches where Mark Platt.
Yes.
He's a very nice guy. Mm-hmm. And he was giving a family man, giving his speech and saying to my boo-boo and my nana and my Skippy Lou up in heaven. And you dared me to dream and people said I couldn't.
Yeah.
But here we are. Then it was oh, sir. Oh, sorry.
That was amazing.
So uncomfortable.
To witness that moment was
to be alive in these times.
No, the gift that it
because we've lived through the election, which was a shock in the complete opposite way, and this felt like some release on the valve for me.
I just needed something to be corrected.
Yes, which first of all, the correction was right, which is Moonlight.
Yes,
but the for me, it's we rarely watch things live anymore. It felt like when the Beatles went on Ed Sullivan.
Yes, it felt again when World War II ended.
Okay, Danielle.
I know. There's a glory in that. It just felt like something was...
It was so amazing because, when Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty came out, I announced to the group I was worried.
Yes.
I was very worried from moment one.
Need to be.
I attended a screening of the movie Orphan at the Grove in LA with Matt McConkey. And what we witnessed was Faye in a tracksuit, Ms. Dunaway, who's a legend, living legend.
Oh, yes.
In a tracksuit, wearing surgical gloves, drinking a Diet Coke out of a can and a straw that she brought from home, and taking notes on the movie, furious notes, as though she was in a master class, leaned forward, at every line, she'd be like, I was like, oh,
the Orphan.
She's insane.
Well, I don't know if I told you this. Our friend Morgan told me a story about her friend who was carrying a life-size mannequin walking down Hollywood Boulevard.
What?
Some sketch. He was a sketch actor and he was walking down, going to a rehearsal with his mannequin.
Yeah, nothing too weird in LA.
Again, that's for me. I'm that tracks.
Yeah.
And then a limousine pulls up, rolls down the window, and it is Faye Dunaway.
It's Ms. Dunaway?
It's Ms. Dunaway. And she's like, excuse me, where did you get that? he was like, I'm borrowing it for a sketch. And she was like, again, I'm probably messing the story up somehow, but she was like, what's a sketch? And he was like, oh, I do like a sketch comedy. She was like, interesting. And then window up.
And did he know it was Ms. Dunaway?
Oh, yes. He knew exactly who it was.
What if a tinted window came down and I saw Ms. Dunaway?
I would have just handed her the mannequin.
Yeah. Oh, I would have
said,
said,
what you will.
Be it a sketch, be it whatever.
However you need this. But she seemed to like, she was like, driver, I see something interesting.
She's like, I'm restaging Orphan, and I'd like that mannequin.
Please stop the car.
Well, I was worried. And then when Warren Beatty took that long pause, I thought, well, he's gone too.
Mm-hmm. He took a huge pause.
And then it felt like, who's grounding us? No one. And no one was.
No, we were unsafe in their hands. It turns out you were right.
And I heard later that Emma Stone, and she's adorable and lovely, but said that it was like the worst moment of her life. I'm like, but you did just win a Best Actress Oscar. I feel like La La Land had it too.
Oh, more than enough. They did just fine. So for that to be a bad moment is like, all right, Emma.
I thought it was just so amazing and thrilling and fun and just...
It was a ride.
Yeah, it was a ride.
And I heard later through the gossip columns, through the papers, that I guess Faye and Willem,
Willem.
Guys. Look, I am not to be trusted with names. I have made that clear from the beginning of this podcast. Warren Beatty, Mr. Warren Beatty, that they had been tiffing kind of like during the rehearsal process where like he had wanted to read the winner, she had wanted to read the winner. And so it had been fraught for a while. And then it ended in a... But I love at the end, Warren's like, I let Moonlight have their moment, but just know I did not do this.
I thought that was a little. I was like, okay, the truth will come out. Yeah. He's like, no, it'll come out right now.
Yeah, it's like, let Moonlight, let them get on the stage.
Let them have a second. 20 producers have already spoken on behalf of La La Land from boobies and noobies up in heaven.
I know. So it was, what a thrill. And I was happy to be there for it live, experiencing it, not hearing about it. Just, in the room where it happened, I guess.
And everybody really enjoyed it together by looking at Twitter right away.
Oh, immediately.
The next morning, Danielle, I received a missive, an email from my father, Paul Wilson, which said, I mean, these are the types of emails I get. I would say, I'm not joking, 95 a year, conservatively.
Really?
Oh my God. My dad wakes up. He has a Keurig. He makes like 20 pods worth of coffee. He's out of his goddamned mind. And he fires off emails. I mean, op-eds like you wouldn't believe.
Really? Just to you. Who are included in these?
Well, the op-eds go right to the papers. He's had a couple published, but some of them are wild. Oh God, I can't even. The emails are so crazy. One thing which we might have in an upcoming show, but when I was on Saturday Night Live, quickly, they told us, there's going to be a Mother's Day show and we're going to fly all the moms in. My mom had just passed, so they said, we'll fly your dad in. Can you just confirm that he can do this date? So I called him. All I said was, are you available, May 13th or whatever? What I received the next morning was a sketch, a 5-page sketch. My father wrote on Microsoft Word that he sent to me. Okay, now this is about a year after my mom passed. And the sketch was titled Monster Daughter. Written by Paul Wilson. The characters were myself, my father in drag. As though they were going to give him a full sketch on the air. Performing in drag. And then see if you can follow this, Danielle. Performing as a woman he was seeing that I did not know he had started dating, and I was having a very hard time with this. This was his way of telling me he not only was dating, but in the sketch, the woman my dad was playing, his lover, was telling me, your dad's had it hard, your mom has passed, don't be such a bitch, monster daughter. Okay.
Wow.
My dad thought in some world, Lorne Michaels would say, you know what, we gotta have this sketch on and we gotta get that guy to play his girlfriend.
Oh my God.
It doesn't have a ton of jokes. It is like a psychological study in a man who's coming undone.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
So these are the types of things I've received over the years. This is just a quickie about the Oscars. Sent to myself and always CCing like my husband's family and people we barely know. And it's just so embarrassing.
Wants everyone in the loop?
Everyone in the These are our dear neighbors. Every one of their kids and family members are on here. The subject... official count of thank you dads.
What?
We have the official count of how many award winners thank their fathers during the Oscars. In a 3.5-hour show with 24 awards and countless recipients, the official thank you count was just 2 for mentioning their beloved dads, and they both came extremely late in the show. Wow. A third was disqualified because the stepdad got thanked because he took care of the actor's very sick mother. Really? Where were the dads? Talk about a bitch sesh moment.
I like that we got name checked.
In an incomprehensible way.
Wow.
And no one responded.
No one.
People don't even respond to him anymore.
Does he say, does anyone have thoughts?
And nobody, again, like when you get an email from it, it's always like dated like, yeah, this one's 8:58 a.m. That's about right. Some of them come at 5:55. Like they're very early morning.
Yeah, first thought, woke up
first
with an
blur.
idea.
Yeah.
Don't want to sit on it.
No.
Got to get this to the people.
No.
Wow.
One more quick, very quick story.
I would love to
Just
hear.
so you know, and this really cost me a lot of friendships.
Okay.
Right after college, June and I were living together in New York, and this was my bad. So it starts with me. This is much like Lisa Rinna, actually, and Eden.
Okay.
I was unusually close with my father, as we all know. He's my Girl Scout leader. Mm-hmm. I would tell him tidbits about like my friends' lives, like more so than any daughter would.
I do that with my father.
You've been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Now, what if your father became an Eden on you and announced to me that he would like me to gather all my friends? He would like to fund a short film for us. So we are just out of NYU. We're dying to do anything. My dad makes political commercials. We thought, okay, like
Yes, of
he's
course.
gonna. I was like, I'm a star. We gather in June and I's like 2-foot apartment with all my dearest friends, and I made when I tell you the error of my lifetime not reading this before, he passes it out and has cast everyone as themselves. And has put everyone's deepest, worst secrets in it. Oh. It would literally be like about an old boyfriend. I'm changing names. It would be like Darren, failed actor, Casey has to buy his acting glasses because he probably won't make it. It would be like, this one had sex with a massage therapist, and people left in the middle. And everyone was like, why did you tell your dad all this? And it's like, but I didn't think he'd tell anyone. I was like Lisa and he was Eden. And he did it with love. You have to understand, he's a very loving man.
I know, I've met him. He's so loving. He's so kind.
He thought we'd all be like, oh, cool. Like, great. He's like, well, how do you get material? You just use what you hear. I'm like, Dad,
this was setting confidence.
June came out like a rose.
Did she?
It was like gorgeous, young girl. But then he wrote a sex scene for June. I mean, it was shocking stuff, guys. I've lived through this.
Oh,
he's so inappropriate.
But he's a great guy.
He's a great guy,
But mistakes were made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you still confide in him?
Well, I lost a dear friendship over that, my roommate, because she had stolen some stuff from me. And I didn't tell her I knew because you're never 100%.
Yeah.
Well, that came out in her role. She confronted me and we've never spoken since.
Oh my God.
So if you're listening, again, apologies.
Oh gosh, she's not going to stick around through that. It wasn't a real friendship.
I don't know. It might have been the realest one I had. She's like, I can't take this on. Oh, gosh. Well, should we take a quick break?
Yes, please. We're back. Guys, we are going to get into Beverly Hills. There are some updates on Atlanta. There was no Atlanta episode this week, which was disappointing because we left on such a high note.
But you have a pretty important update, Danielle.
Guys, knowing that there was no Atlanta this week, I was upset. I was digging. I needed just a fix. I needed my fix. So I went and I was like, I wonder if Old Lady Gang's, open yet. Like, what's going on?
Peruse the menu,
Yeah,
maybe.
I'd love to just see what they got going. Can I order something to go? Guess what? Not open.
Still
Why
not
can't
open.
they get it together? I don't
And
understand.
that season must have stopped filming 6 months ago.
Yeah, like I remember hearing an update in November, I want to say, that Old Lady Gang is like up and like it's going to happen now. We're here. Like it's ready to go. The restaurant's ready to go. So I assumed the new year, new restaurant, new you. Like, let's do this. It's still not.
I don't think Old Lady Gang is ever opening.
Really? But they worked so hard.
I think Todd, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well.
But I think Todd has just taken, how much money do you think Candy's given him for Old Lady Gang? I think
so much. I'm going to say
$250,000.
Oh, I was going to say 500,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Between Cynthia giving Peter money for bar one and Candy giving money, it's like you can't even get it open.
That reminds
This woman's given you so much.
Yeah. Peter Thomas. Mm-hmm. I believe his Instagram name is still Peter Thomas Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just FYI.
I'm sure it is.
Like, really?
Well, again, I said it last week, but why is Peter showing his face in Hawaii next week?
Are they back together? I can't quite get a handle on what's going on there. I'd like to know.
I think what Cynthia's doing, and I've done this with past boyfriends, no one's proud of it, is like you've broken up and you're actively looking for people, but you're kind of still maybe dipping back.
Yeah, I get.
But it's short lived.
But it's like, I don't know. They had such a public breakup and such a. It seemed to be disastrous 2-year marriage that felt like it went on for much longer, and their actual wedding day was a complete disaster. Like,
right. Who could forget when Cynthia's mom and sister hid the marriage certificate from them?
Yeah,
marriage license.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
The writing seemed to be on the wall
and on the certificate. It's just, it was not going to go well. No. And we all knew that. So then to get back into that feels like.
Look, if anyone has any info on Old Lady Gang, keep us posted.
Yeah, I'd love to,
Let's just keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I just want to know where it's going and if it will go. I mean, it's been so much a part of their plot line.
You said they said you could put your email in there and they'd update you. Yeah. I think we should sign up.
Yeah, should we? Absolutely. But that's like sending a letter in a bottle. To the ocean. Just feels like I don't know that I'm going to get my return.
It's going to be like IRL not recognized.
Yeah, like I feel like it's going to be like Damer Malin or whatever.
Mailer demon?
Yes.
Damer Malin. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm laughing as though I wouldn't have done that.
I'm a real Miss Dunaway right now, and I realized.
What did you say? Damer Malin? Okay. Well, LinkedIn. I thought it was LinkedIn. I was like, what's LinkedIn? Someone's like, you mean LinkedIn? I was like, oh.
Damer Malin.
Damer Malin.
I'm just going to
It's like a twist on Matt Damon.
I feel like it's a twist on Mailer Damon and like Damon
Wayans Jr. Damer Malin.
Malin.
Wow.
I think we should all refer to it as such.
Damer Malin. When those come back, it's like, wow, Damer Malin. Yes. Norman Mailer's in there a little too.
It's a lot of confusion. I'm an old woman. I am not a millennial. I've made that clear. I'm way past that.
Oh,
age.
No one was confusing you.
Are you sure they weren't confused?
I think you look as fresh as a daisy.
But everybody knows the truth. But yeah, so, again, I'm going to put my message in that bottle, but I don't know that I'm going to hear back. And I have to live with that.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Couple more updates.
Yes.
And again, we are going to get to Beverly Hills, of course. And then we have quite a scene to read at the end.
Yes.
But Erika Jayne is going to be Dancing with those stars.
I have never watched Dancing with the Stars
Never
before.
once.
Not once, but I might tune in.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to tune in. But I got to say, I think she's better than this.
I agree. She's a superstar.
I know. I feel like it wasn't the right move for her. I think she could have done, if she'd held out, more.
Yeah, she could have had something. But maybe there is something we don't know about that. But it feels like every reality star and their mother goes on that show. I want more for Erika Jayne.
I do too. And I feel like they're not even like her picture's not the one that's like promoted out front. There's just something.
It feels a step down.
Okay, again, never watched one episode, but I'm obsessed with Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank is married now to to his dance partner. Ooh. Apparently his family's no longer speaking to him. His kids. Wow. Feels like a real monster daughter situation.
Yeah. Monster daughter.
It just does.
Oh, I love that that's like the name of this blockbuster movie. We've decided when it's a real monster daughter.
And also we heard that Vicki Gunvalson, one of her employees, was accused of embezzling thousands and thousands of dollars from her. Mm-hmm. Which reeks of Michael.
Yes. Really, you're like, Michael, is this his way of getting back? He's always wanted to be sort of seen by Vicki, I think. He's always kind of annoyed by her, but also she always seems to be so focused on Brianna that is this his way of, again, we are just saying this. We have no proof of this at all. In fact, they might know it's somebody else, but we have decided this.
It's most likely Michael.
Yeah. We've decided that.
And Danielle and I always read everyone's tweets. There have been so funny. Oh God, this one guy wrote me, I'm trying to find his name because it really made me laugh. He said, Atlanta. He said, why are we all calling Cynthia's lake house a lake house? If you only have one house, is it really called a lake house? And then he wrote #no shade. I love it. It's a great question.
And it's true because we all have been doing that. We're all guilty of that.
Because she's referring to it as, her. He said, it was Steven Sawyer. Should we really be saying Cynthia's lake house if it's her only house? #no shade.
I feel like when you say hashtag no shade, it just means shade.
This whole show is hashtag no shade.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention my favorite part of the Oscars.
Oh, what?
Really quick.
Okay.
When Chrissy Teigen was asleep over Meryl Streep's shoulder.
That was a brilliant moment.
It was so great. And of course she was. She has a newborn at home. She's tired.
She's exhausted.
I was exhausted.
Me too. I understood when she fell asleep, but just to do it on camera is...
In the third row behind Meryl
beautiful.
Streep
It's
is
beautiful.
so bold. It's so special.
And I love that she literally said, like, I think she tweeted out afterwards, like, something happened? Like, she was just like, anything happened while I was asleep?
Yeah, she just simply fell asleep. She was tired.
Yeah,
and
I get it.
really appreciate it.
And then there was all that sugar coming from the ceiling, sugar crash. Like,
I wonder if she woke up for that.
oh, I would have. I can smell sugar a mile.
Yeah.
Smelled it like a pig to truffles.
I love her.
Yeah, me too. I adore her.
We have a couple recommendations we just want to talk about really quickly. I'm just going to say right off the bat, if you have not seen Get Out, you must see it.
I have to see it. I have not seen it.
It's so fucking fantastic. It's so scary, and everyone's like, oh, I don't like scary movies because that's how I am.
I hate them.
It's much more suspenseful than, although it is terrifying in its concept.
I still can't watch the Thriller video in whole. Like, I am a terrified person. Like, I still...
Neither of us could watch the final scene of Beverly Hills tonight.
Oh,
I had my blanket over my head.
And I had my sweater over my nose. Just like, I just needed half my face.
If you watch Beverly Hills tonight, you can handle Get Out. Wow. It's so unbelievably amazing. Jordan Peele wrote and directed it. It's amazing. So that's my just one little recommendation. And it's so fun and disturbing and dark and amazing.
I can't wait to see it. We'd also like to recommend a podcast that if you're not listening to,
oh my God,
Run Don't Walk.
My hands are shaking.
We actually advertised it on the podcast. Like, no, it is called Missing Richard Simmons.
Guys, it's a whole podcast devoted to where the hell Richard Simmons has been over the last 3 years.
It is fantastic. It is by an old friend of mine, somebody I worked with years ago, Dan Taberski, and he's a comedic genius, and it's not comical this at all. But like, I think he's such a good writer and director,
and it's not, which I can see how you might think it's kind of gross in a way of like,
or even that it's like tongue in cheek,
salacious or something,
because Richard Simmons himself is so bigger than life, and he's such a caricature that maybe it is totally serious. It is. And Dan, the guy that does it, is a true, genuine, it seems, I don't know him, but friend of Richard Simmons. Yes. So it's not like just someone being like, where's Richard? This is a friend who's genuinely... So Richard Simmons 3 years ago went missing from a Slimmons dance class in Beverly Hills that he'd been teaching every week for 40 years. And has... by all accounts, hundreds and hundreds of friends, not only friends, but women, overweight women scattered across the country that he made weekly phone calls to, that he inspired to lose weight, which I truly think is the Lord's work. I'm not being facetious. He got so close with all these people. There was this woman that was basically his mother figure. Gigi, who he drove to Slimmons class every week. Who lives in my parents-in-law's building. Really? What? I know. What? I asked my mother-in-law, I'm like, do you know Gigi? She's like, is she a fabulous looking woman in her 90s? I'm like, it's got to be Gigi. I want her in my life. I know. I need Gigi in my life. I've given a lot of questions to my parents-in-law to ask should they run into Gigi. I mean... can they make it a priority? I told them, I said, you must stop them and just get to the bottom of this. She seems amazing. But like, this was like his mother. It would be like cutting off your mother. Yeah. And he, after one day, just simply never responded to anyone and has not been seen in 3 years, which led me to believe immediately that he's sick. But that's not being brought up or bandied about as an option. Because... he had, like, no one, good friends of his. Like, dear friends have not heard from him so much as an email or a text or I'm okay, but I just want to be private. And so the two theories that... he got rid of his doorbell. That to me was a real sign. I can't even say anything. That was so horrible. It's like, what's going on? I don't want to be found. Yeah. Anyway, it's fascinating. If you're not so listening, listen right now. It's so good. I am so into it. I check it every day to see if it's updated, even though I know it comes out on Wednesdays. Like, is it Wednesday? I know. No, it's amazing. So that's just a recommendation, because like, we feel like any listener will love this. Yes, I feel like if you like us, like you're interested in the same things. And I'm falling in love with Richard through listening to it. I think I've always loved him. His Deal a Meal commercials were TV shows to
not
me.
to go back to my mom, but briefly was on his talk show once.
What?
Yes, strangely, because she was like trying to get women elected. That was her job as like a feminist, and she went on there to discuss that.
Do you
and
have that footage?
I'd love to find it. How do I get it?
I don't know. Can we go to like the Museum of Television and Radio?
In New York, I should go.
Like I wonder, like they would have like his talk show, right?
I think so, but she said he was so generous and loving, and she fell in love. I mean, it seems like everyone that met him fell in love.
Yeah, he gave
and you
a
know
lot
what?
of himself.
We're pretty remiss for having not gone to Slimmins.
I can't believe I didn't. I didn't know about Slimmins. I have to say, I don't know that.
I didn't either, but I still feel upset.
I feel like I would have enjoyed Slimmins.
I blame Matt McConkey, and I don't know why. I do. I feel like he knew about Slimmins and held it back.
My good friend Erica was, I don't know why I'm stumbling. My friend Erica literally was like, "Oh, that's right by where we used to get our haircut." I'm like, "What? Slimmins was there and I didn't know?"
We could have gotten a cut and a workout.
Like, how did I not know about Slimmins? I feel like I never would have walked by a Slimmins and not poked my head in. That's not me. I don't know. So many answers.
And this isn't Richard, so I'd love.
Yeah, we're all not ourselves right now. And I beg you to listen to this podcast.
And I beg everyone to stay on your toes and keep an eye out.
Yeah, see, just if someone knows something, if you see something, say something.
We will get the information to Dan.
Yeah, we will,
I hope he's okay. I truly do.
Hope he's okay.
Wow. Let's get into Beverly Hills.
Oh, Beverly Hills this week. Now, at the beginning of the episode, you said to me, Casey, I don't think this episode's going to be nothing. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but you said I don't have high hopes.
I said they don't have shit.
Yeah, you did.
And I was dead wrong.
You were.
I've been wrong many times, but much like Lisa Rinna, I'm going to just, you know what? I'm coming out with it. I was wrong. And much like Lisa Rinna, you won't get an apology.
No, you was certainly not. But started off slow. We're doing a cake party. There's Carney Wilson.
We're meeting Thea, Kyle's organizer. And we're also meeting Kyle's vest.
Yeah.
With the skull and crossbones on the back to boot.
Yeah. Kyle, again.
That needs to be organized right on out.
Kyle, hit or miss with some of her wardrobe choices. Her hair is better.
When is she hit?
Well, her hair is better this year. I'd like to, I gotta like, when I see an improvement, I have to say something. Her hair is better. I like that she's lightened up. I like
and
that
her
she's gone
skin
shorter.
looks fantastic.
Flawless. She's a beauty. So why does she gotta hide that light under a bushel, And by the bushel, I mean a vest. And
we didn't have much to start. You're right. And we went to hot dogs. Is that what it's called?
I think it's called Vanderpump Dogs or something.
I thought it was hot dogs, like DAWG.
Well, our good friend of the show, Leslie Grossman, posted a picture on Instagram this week of like this. I guess she saw it in live, real life. I call live TV real life. It's the same thing.
Because unlike Old Lady Gang, it seems like Lisa and Ken.
She can pop something up in 2 seconds flat. She has no problem getting a shop.
Her
together.
Restaurants are pop-up shops.
Oh yeah,
they run like that.
Yeah, they don't take a lot of thought, not a lot of money. Not a lot. Like it's like
nothing's hooked up. No plumbing, no electrical system.
Food is not important. The bathrooms don't have to be clean. It's there.
Yeah.
And that's all
We're
you need
still getting photos from fans on the SUR bathrooms.
Yeah.
Wowie wee wow.
They still can't get those right. Still not like a person in charge. Like when I was a waitress, like one person was on bathroom duty. You didn't want it to be you that week, but that was your job.
They do leave a little to be desired.
Yeah, someone needs to make a chore wheel, whatever you got to do. Get those bathrooms clean. Get those bathrooms spick and span, please.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's not afraid to just pop up a shop. And so Leslie Grossman had posted that on her Instagram, and I was like, what is this? Is it a hot dog stand? Was my initial and your initial.
And I was like, I'm going to pretend it's for research, but I will absolutely be getting one of those hot dogs.
Turns out it's for rescue dogs, and that's good to know.
I should have known that.
I should too. I don't know why immediately I was like,
oh, Lisa's moving into the hot dog realm.
I was like, well, that tracks. Like, to me, I was like, yeah, I get that.
I was like, Sir Pump Hot Dogs gays. Like, we're all in the same realm.
Yes, and I was like, I get it. Like, this is her low end food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but she's still trying to be sassy and saucy.
Still going to be pink and beautiful. And it's like, no, just rescue dogs.
Yeah. And wow, what a scene. Well, we saw Lisa in this sheer black top, which she looked gorgeous in.
Like, I wish she would wear black. I know pink is her color, but like black is her color. She just doesn't know it.
And her hair looked great with that bra underneath.
She didn't have too much makeup on. Her lashes weren't like huge tarantulas. Like it felt like a subtle Lisa.
Look.
Yes. And she looked gorgeous.
And there was a really funny moment though when Ken was trying to read like a contract in the side. Like Lisa was talking with some man. I guess he was owned the building.
Yes. I thought he was just a realtor.
Yeah, she's like talking about his platform. This man looked like he could give a fuck.
Right.
And then in the distance, you just see Ken hunched over a contract trying to read it when getting closer and closer to the paper.
He was basically, his face was on the paper.
And that was before Ken cried.
Now that we all got sad. Like
I felt for him.
Me too. I mean, he saw something that just, I mean, if I saw what he saw, it would disturb me.
Now, I didn't hear what he had seen.
Me neither. We were both sort of... What were we doing during that scene?
We were upset he was crying.
I think we were just talking about how upset we were that he was crying but not listening.
What had he seen? Had he gone to China and seen the dogs?
I thought something?
And Lisa hadn't gone?
I think so.
Or checked in with him on what he had seen till now?
That's tracking for me. I don't know.
Whatever he was crying about, I was very moved.
Yeah. I don't know what he was crying out, but I know that he was crying and I felt something.
Well, the best was that Lisa like adjusts to kind of come around, and I'm thinking like put a hand on her husband's shoulder, a grown man who's I've never seen Ken cry.
I've never seen Ken speak, really.
And it was really sweet. I mean, he was very moved again by what we don't know, but then Lisa literally, and I guess this is kind of a British thing, that like stiff upper lip, just walked past him and then simply walked out.
Yeah.
It's like not a hug.
No.
Nothing.
It was very like, I can't bear to see you this way. Well, she sort of elbowed him, which I think is like British affection. Or like, remember in Steel Magnolias?
Here we go again. Your touchstone.
I know. It applies in so many situations.
It does.
When Weeza, after their daughter has passed, and spoiler alert, I haven't seen this 25 years ago. Giving it away.
Can't believe you told everyone.
Shelby Daz, guys.
They didn't have enough orange juice.
Yeah, Shelby didn't drink all the juice. Anyway, Shelby is dead. They're at her funeral.
Sure.
And Weeza like comes up to like Tom Skerritt, who plays drum, and she just elbows him, kind of like, "Hey, I got your back," because they had been sort of like fighting all this time over the birds on the tree and the dog, and so it felt like that type of moment, like, "Hey, I don't know how to give you affection, but this is my affection to you, is to like shove you in the
and give you a little something."
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, I got it.
You got the moment.
I got the moment, though I don't know what the moment was about.
No. If anyone does.
Yeah.
I assume it was about just the conditions of the dogs.
Yeah, which...
horrible.
Other things that happened was that somehow Vincent was, a drama coach for Erica Jane? Like, what? This is the most long, dragged out appearance, giving her sides that she will not be reading. Or giving her...
No, they're like, oh, no, no one's written her part yet.
So why are we practicing?
And is Vincent qualified to be a coach? When he came out, you were like, tennis coach, maybe.
Yes. Poker.
Because I kept thinking Vincent was going to excuse himself.
Me too.
But then he grabbed...
holding a camera?
Then he grabbed the sides and was like coaching Erica.
I mean, just because you're the son of someone who was on a successful TV show.
I have a vague memory of Eileen saying they met in the soaps, that he was a soap actor.
Maybe.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he does some dabbling in acting, coaching.
Time on like Santa Barbara or one of those.
And coaches, because I know a lot of actresses, weirdly, who their husbands have turned into coaches.
Really?
Yeah. And it was very strange at the end when I don't think he was joking when he's like, "I'd love to manage you."
Is he going to go into manage?
I just think he's trying to get in on that.
Who needs to be? Well, I mean, Vincent.
Vincent, if you're listening.
You're listening. I mean, what
I'd love to work with you, Vincent.
Love to just see what you could do for me.
Absolutely.
Just to hear it out. Yeah. We can sit down.
I'd love to have coffee and maybe show you what I could do and take any of your feedback.
Yeah, and just see you've gotten Eileen this far. Let's see what... Eileen's hair looked good, guys.
It did. It looked really good in that scene.
Mm-hmm. So we're making progress.
Well, then we took 2 steps back at Carney's Love Bites party. I guess we should just get to Love Bites
Yeah,
because
that's what the episode was. That what the episode was called? Because it should have been.
I don't know what it was called, but Carney Wilson, who knew she was going to sweep into our lives in this grand of a way and then be not only the voice of reason, a conflict. Is this a word? Resolutor?
I'm going to say yes. But I also said Dale or Maynard or whatever the first time.
Mailer Damon. What did you say?
Damon Mailer. I'm in no position to throw stones.
Carney.
I would like Carney to help me out. And I feel like she has lived a life. She has been through shit. She has come out the other end. She seems wise. She seems happy. She seems beautiful. I liked everything she had to say.
I did too. And it did prompt a question for me, which is, and I don't want to harp on her weight because I thought she looked great and she seemed just like a very together person. And truly, she spoke the only sense I have heard spoken on these shows ever.
Yes.
But I wondered, how come there's never been a more overweight housewife?
You did wonder that. There's no one?
No one's coming to mind.
Wow, they don't. I guess.
And I'm just calling for it. And
I would like to see that too.
And I'd like to see Carney as a housewife.
I think she would be fantastic because she's just a little crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And she is a little...
Like that little expression she did, which we saw a couple of times when she was talking to Kim.
Yes.
And she was like, or no, she was talking to Kyle in the beginning. And she was saying, I've been sober for... She said something like, 12? But I'm damn ass... Or what did she say?
Something like I'm... I
damn ass sober.
Yeah, something like, and I'm a little crazy.
Yeah, she did a look that was really wild.
And I used to watch her talk show back in the day, and she's crazy, but in all the best ways, because I do think she's also wise.
100%.
And has experienced. So I would like to call for that too. Yeah. I would love to see her on a Real Housewives. Beverly Hills. I think in Atlanta, I mean, not in Atlanta, in Orange County is not a great place for her.
No. Now, we also saw Kyle's party planner.
He's not. Look, guys. I'm worried. I just feel like every time we see him, his face,
it's horrible.
The stress level is not at a good place. I'm worried for him.
And I'm really worried for him. Not in the way that Lisa says that she's worried for Kim.
No, I am truly, I am just like, he needs...
his name's escaping me.
Yeah. Kenny? I'm laughing because I never know anyone's name and I get this.
It was a good stab. I don't know if it is, but Billy?
No, Billy's Vicky Gumbelson's brother.
Who I love. What a good time, Charlie.
Yeah, that guy.
What a great time.
But anyway, he's
tough. So the whole party was just wild. The best was that Lisa apparently, since last we saw her, has had a reckoning with herself and suddenly remembers that she did say that Kim was near death.
It's so much worse than she won't admit that she lied. She never says, I lied. She's never searching back.
And she never said, I'm sorry. No. That's an awful thing to say. I never should have said that.
And she's like, it's because she kept saying it's because of the game night. But
when they flip back to the game night, it is sort of Lisa antagonizing Kim. She has an issue with Kim. I don't think any of it. And I don't think Lisa's like some terrible person, but I don't think I've ever seen her saying any of this out of love or concern for Kim.
No, it never has felt like that. It feels like I'm going to get her because she got me about the stupid Harry Hamlin thing that, again, yes, Kim was trying to instigate something and pretend like something happened, but who cares? It's been said and done for 2 years and it doesn't she's making it into a thing.
But I do think once we got to the Harry of it all, I understood it more. I was like, oh, Lisa has so not let this go. Mm-hmm. This Harry thing. She hates her and has been gunning for her. And I kind of thought it was that I was buying into the whole thing of Lisa's got maybe addiction runs in her family. And I'm thinking it's that. It's like, oh, no. She's so pissed because I do imagine it must be how everybody probably goes up and asks Harry that. Mm-hmm. And he is a dignified actor. And she's probably pissed because she told him, please let me do the show. Please let me do the show. It won't affect you. It won't affect you. And then he's like the fucking bombshell of the finale.
Yeah. I hear that. I didn't see that before. And now I'm getting it.
But wow. Kim has apologized.
She has.
I just love that Lisa's like, yeah, I did say that, but the way she was approaching that like big sit down with everyone, well,
Which was
so tough.
My skin was crawling. I was crawling out of my seat. Like it was so uncomfortable watching them all. Oh my God.
They're munching on love bites.
Yes, which looked delicious. By the way, Carney, love to see more. Is that business up and running?
I'd love to check in on that.
We'll have to check in on
and
that.
try some.
Yeah.
But it was just so crazy. Lisa just stops everyone and is like in front of everyone. And that does take some balls.
Yeah, I was like, pull her aside. No, really.
But I feel like she wanted so many brownie points for just her laying bare herself. It's like, well, yeah, of course you need to own up to this. And she was basically like, you know what? She just went too fast with everything. Her processing.
I think she wanted to peel it off like a Band-Aid really fast.
She's like, I said it and I want to move on. It's like, no, you're too strident. You need to apologize. Ask forgiveness. This might take, there's some grieving. I mean, a lot needs to happen here. And she was basically like, in every cell of my body, I'm ready to move on.
It's like, I bet you are.
Yeah, we see that.
Yeah, you want to move past what you did.
Leap past.
And also she was like, I'm remembering now. It's like, I want someone to be like, you lied, Lisa. Like, you
The
just
best
say,
was Eileen's face when she goes, it's all true. And Eileen was like, oh. Eileen looked like she had that Montezuma's revenge again.
Yeah, she did. Also, she was in an another denim romper with no bra. And it's like, I mean, Kiss, you said it best. You're like, I would never leave the house without a bra at this point. I mean, you just gotta hold them.
I mean, not everyone can wear a purple one-piece Speedo and pull it off, you know?
No, and like, even in a t-shirt, I make sure I'm in a bra. It's like,
Danielle, I sleep in a bra, okay?
You have to
It wouldn't happen.
No.
And God bless Eileen, but to wear that dark denim wash jumpsuit, who told her she must always, that's her signature style?
Someone did. And that someone is wrong and needs to be shot. It's like they need to just, it's not okay.
It's not. It's just not.
We've all made bad choices, but to keep making the same ones.
I mean, it's like, literally, this is her fucking 5th denim jumpsuit.
And this one was worse because there's no bra and no shirt under it to take away.
It was a shock.
It was. Watching her walk in, you and I both were like, really?
It was it unfolded.
Yeah.
Because at first it was like, oh. Again, I was Sheree.
You got like a side. Then she turns around and shows you the side view. And it's like for like a dessert party at Carney Wilson's. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is a...
And I did love, just very quickly, Erica Jane in the limo with Lisa when Lisa's like, I did it. And Erica was just like, you're going to get fucked up right now. Everyone was like sending her off to war. They're just like, I won't be there for you. And I will not get your back.
The minute she started to say it to Kyle and he just starts to walk away. But then Carney Wilson comes
Carney's like, guys, get outside. That was very strange. I felt like Carney needed to pull it back there.
But that's why she's perfect for the show. That's why she would be a great housewife.
Well, she's smart. She's like, I know we need all cameras on my little bites.
Yeah.
Or my love.
Little bites? Love bites?
Yeah.
Little bites.
Her little bites. It did make me sad when she's like, I stopped drinking and I funneled all of my energy into baking. But she said it makes her happy.
Yeah, but I think she looks good. I don't think she's like at a place where she looks unhealthy. She's just at a weight that she's supposed to be. You know, like to me, I was like, she looks happy, whatever. Who cares? You know?
And the speech she gave that literally unified everything. Kim was the most lucid I've ever seen her. She said, genuinely, this has been treacherous for me. Mm-hmm. She brings her sponsor, which completely legitimizes her recovery.
Smart move.
And the sponsor seemed actually on planet Earth.
Yes.
And, oh God, that little minx, Lisa Rinna, tried to dump it all onto Eden at points.
She sure did.
And Eden, to me, is so not innocent in this.
No, she's not. But then when Lisa tried to turn it back on.
This was the best.
She was like, be compassionate. When they're like, you're not me. Our family is not yours. Your sister has died. She's like, be compassionate. It's like, no, it's just the truth. Her sister has died. I'm here. I know I had a problem, but I am not near death. I am in recovery.
And I have kids that are watching this, and it's just simply unacceptable to say that I'm near death. But the best moment was when Lisa Vanderpump was like, well, but it had gotten out there, and Kyle turns to her, and that Kyle that was in, scenes of yore with the crutches with Brandy and with screaming at Kim in the limo came out, and she's like, pickling.
Yeah, and then she shut Vanderpump up. I have never seen Vanderpump. Vanderpump has lost some of her power. And we have been saying this, and that is why she is so sweaty this season, because now it is the world. We are living in a Erica Jane and a Kyle world.
And we never would have seen Vanderpump in Testimonial imitating an American accent.
No.
It's just not who she is. The way I want everyone to go back and watch when Kyle shuts her down, the look on Vanderpump's face, she shuts her mouth and shuts her eyes like, I've got to take this and I'm going to take it.
Something has changed. I don't know what it is, but the tides have turned.
I think she and Kyle had an arranged marriage before this season, and they're like, you cross the line, I say this about you. You cross the line, I say that about you. Like something, they're blackmailing each other.
Something is going on there, but Kyle has all the cards right now, is what I feel.
Wow. Interesting
Because
observation.
Lisa would, in seasons of yore, Lisa would have been like, don't tell me what to do. I'm just speaking my mind.
And then to see Lisa come over and cuddle up with Kim and be like the emotional one.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we never saw her cuddle her husband when he was sobbing.
Something's going.
Something's afoot.
But it's interesting for the show.
But Carney Wilson gave a speech that unified everyone. She basically said, you have to see it from both sides. They are coming from a place of hurt and anger about the loss of their sisters. So they're seeing something in you too.
And that's their problem. Like you have to see it as like they've got a problem and they have to recognize the problem in themselves. But you have to also see like they've got this problem.
And then she kind of legitimized Kim by saying, look, and if addicts are all a little bit kooky. And it's like, look, we have seen Kim in the past. She's like, I'm as sober as can be. And then we see her like trip down the stairs and be like, glink, glonk, 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 turtles. So there have been.
Yes, it's not like, but just looking at her, she does look sober and she doesn't look close to death. So just don't tell like outright lies that are just not true.
What happened is so simple. It's two girlfriends bitching. One of them went too far, but no one would ever think that person would tell everyone. And I mean, to me, it's almost worse on Eden.
Yeah.
I don't agree with Vanderpump. It's like, what? Why would you tell someone that? It's so inflammatory. It's so hurtful. It's so crazy that's the one you just like go to your grave with. Like, whoa, she really went too far privately. You don't go to someone.
No, I think Eden was desperate. She wanted a friend. She saw that Vanderpump was powerful. And she was like, I need to get her on my side. So I'm going to give her this information. This is going to be like catnip to her.
Yeah, and it was.
She did with it what we thought she would do with it.
And Kim said the most true thing about Eden. She said she makes my skin crawl. And when Eden sat down at the table, it's just like a cloud of darkness.
Every time she hugs someone with one of those long Eden hugs, I just want to crawl up and die. I'm just
that triumvirate of tattoos.
Yeah, Eden has not been good this season. Like it's interesting, but she's not coming across
and
well.
What was up with that dig that Lisa Rinna gave Dorit?
Oh, if you could remember, was Dorit drunk or something?
I'm sure.
I mean, to say to one of them, you were drunk, it's like, yeah, no fucking duh.
It's like Lisa, I think she was a little bit too laid back. Not like laid back, but like her body language was very back. It's like, you need to be forward, apologizing, engaging. She was just very like, yeah, I did do this, guys. And like, go ahead and stone me if you want, but I want to move on. It was just the wrong energy.
Yeah, she should have said, I'm sorry, I did this. I lied because I was freaking out.
I couldn't be more embarrassed. I couldn't be more sorry.
I shouldn't have said that.
I came off so nasty, and I'm a bitch sometimes.
Yeah. But know that my heart is like there's a way to.
Or even just said, you know what, my heart was not in the right place then. Yeah. It wasn't. I was hurt.
And so I wanted to hurt you. And I said, I went too far.
Wow.
But
we should be on that show.
We should. Oh God, no! I would crumble.
Oh God, I can't even. I would be a catatonic. I'd be taking so many Xanax,
and I wouldn't know where it was coming from.
That's why Lisa was laid back. She was on Xanax for sure.
Yeah,
having dabbled in my share, 100%. Because I was literally thinking, how does a woman go into that firing squad and take it? And oh God, it's perfect sense. Yeah, she was so clearly like drugged.
She was on Xanax.
Yeah. You would have to be.
Yeah, to go into that and know you were going into that.
I like when Erica said she had 9 lives.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't know how many she has left.
Erica's just really become now like the Greek chorus, just like, you heard? Like they cut to her and she's just like.
I love her, but I don't care. Whatever she does, whatever she says, I want to look at her. I want to listen to her. I'm all about it.
Me too.
Next week is going to be some stuff with her.
Yeah.
Her mom.
We're getting in a little deeper.
I know, but I'm excited to go there. I don't want to see her hurt. I don't want to see her cry, but it probably will just give me new respect.
Yeah, and deeper understanding.
Which I'm always longing for.
As am I. Well, it was a great episode. It's very tense, amazing that they plowed through that.
Yeah.
I am curious to see how Kyle and Lisa proceed.
Once they got into that party, that episode flew for me. Like when it was over, I was like, it's over? Like, and that hasn't happened in a while in Beverly Hills. Atlanta every week, I'm like, what?
I know. But I was counting down the minutes on the DVR and getting very nervous. I'm like, we have more ground to cover.
No, that, and I haven't felt that way about Beverly Hills in so long.
It's nice to feel that again.
It's exciting to come home.
Yeah.
To what we knew.
Should we take a quick break and then read a little scene?
Yes.
We're back.
Guys, we have talked about the scene after last week's Atlanta episode. It's the scene to be beat. We've done a lot of scenes on this show. We have talked about a lot of like works, even with our friend Dan O'Brien, who is a poet and a playwright and knows good scene writing and screenwriting. And here comes another one.
Here comes another one transcribed diligently by April Mouton. It's quite long.
Yeah.
We're going to fly through it in the way that they did, because as April explained, as our director, they're talking over each other a ton. This is a gorgeous scene that came to us from Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I will be playing the role of Portia.
And I will be Miss Candy Barres.
This scene, just to set it up if you haven't seen, it's a tough setup. How would you even begin?
Well, they had gone glamping, all the ladies of Atlanta, and it was accused that Candy had a lesbian relationships. What was the accusation that was thrown? And who it turned out had accused her of that was Portia. And then Candy came back and said, well, it was Portia that had said she wanted to, and I quote, lick Candy down till she comes, right?
Lick her pussy down.
Lick her pussy down till she comes.
Yes,
Thank you for the
exactly.
correction. I stand corrected.
So this was a scene when the two of them meet up to discuss, it's an awkward moment for these two powerhouses to sit down and discuss these lesbian accusations. And now again, these are not impressions.
No, these are just interpretations.
We just really want you all to hear the words again, because we need to.
Yeah, it's something, it's like when we had to replay what happened with the Oscars. It's like we just need to to
pay it its due, and we'd love to hear anyone's kind of comments and thoughts as well.
And if they're hearing it fresh for the first time,
I mean, it might bring up a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I will be playing Portia.
And I will be Miss Candy Barres.
We start with a confessional by Candy.
Oh, sorry. That's me.
We're off to a roaring start.
Okay.
We start with a confessional by Miss Candy.
Thank you. I'm bothered by Miss Portia. I don't know why she's trying to put me on blast, but I just need to get it off my chest.
The two sit down at a restaurant. Hello.
What's up?
Not much.
What you got going on? That cup of ice.
I'm on a 2-day cleanse.
Oh. Well, that's good. I mean,
Well, good to see you. I've been trying to call you.
Yeah, I know. I was thrown off a bit the other day, to say the least, mainly because when the whole thing came up and she was like, are you a lesbian or whatever?
Right.
When Marlo had brought it up, and then, everybody was asking Sheree, like, who said it or whatever. And then you were going so hard with us to figure out who the person was.
I was the ringleader for let's find out who this bitch is who said it. Because honestly, I don't know what she was talking about at first.
How could you not?
I mean, I don't remember every little conversation. And plus, when I said it, it wasn't like something I thought carried any weight. Like, why would that statement carry any weight?
How did you think it was going to be taken? I'm confused.
Well, when I said it, I didn't care how you took it. And then when you found out about it, I just wanted you to know it wasn't something I'm going around speaking. That's what that was.
Girl, I mean, at the end of the day, you were speaking on something.
Well, you've been talking about me and Block to Sheree.
First of all, let's be clear. I did not tell her y'all had sex. But when me and her had a conversation that day and it looked as though you were trying to come at me crazy, yeah, of course, I told you did have
sex. And that's another thing. When I was talking to you that day, it was not me coming for you.
Yeah, you were. Anyway, at the end of the day, the way I know is because you told me you had sex with him.
Candy confessional.
The bitch told me she had sex with Block, even what positions they were in. I mean, full detail. So why would I lie about that?
Back in the scene.
If you had just owned your shit, you wouldn't always have to sit there and put me on blast.
What shit don't I own? What shit don't I own?
All your shit with Block. If that's the case, if they want to ask you about it, don't try and sit up here and throw it at me like I was like,
oh, well, if
I don't know how she would know, you know how the fuck I know because you told me.
Candy confessional.
She tells me one lie to cover up shit she doesn't want people to know about herself. And then if you say something else, she doesn't want people to know, so she tells up more lies to cover that up.
Back to the scene.
For you to try and imply, oh, she's Les, at the end of the day, it ain't no secret that I hooked up with a chick before. It ain't never been a secret. I don't live my life like that. You do.
I live my life like how?
In secret.
Oh, how? What secret?
You have been with chicks before and all that.
Portia confessional. Candy, if you want to call me out and so-called put my life on Front Street, let's talk about yours. Back to the scene. Let me tell you something. First and foremost, I'm not out there telling your business. But if you want to go there, Candy, it is what it is because I'm single. And if that's what I choose to do, then that's one thing. But if I'm married and I choose to bring other women that are flip-flopping in my bed like pancakes, that's something totally different.
Let's be clear. My husband and I, we've only had one experience where we've done it.
Candy, stop.
That is the truth.
Oh, girl, don't do that.
Whether you believe it or
Girl,
not.
bye. I thought we were having an honest conversation.
I am having an honest conversation with
okay. You don't have a sex dungeon?
No, I do not.
Oh, that's a fucking lie.
No, I would love to show you my house.
Oh, I don't need to see it.
I don't have, no ma'am.
I don't need to see it.
No
I
ma'am.
don't need
No,
to
ma'am.
see it. Okay, whatever sex chamber y'all have going
made
on.
that up.
I made that up.
Yeah, you made it up. Yes, you
Oh,
did.
I did not. I promise you, I did not make that up. Candy confessional.
Oh, you know damn well if I had a sex dungeon, I would tell everyone because I think that's really cool. She is so full of shit, it irks me. It irks me.
Back to the scene.
If I am with my husband and we decide to hook up, then that's fine. And that's just like when you were kissing me in the club and you told me you wanted to eat my pussy till you came.
I didn't want to eat your motherfucking pussy. Are you kidding me?
You did. You said that. You denied it.
Are you kidding me?
You were tongue kissing me in my mouth and you said you wanted to eat my pussy
That is a
till I
fucking
came.
lie.
Then you tongued me down, bitch.
All of that is a lie.
First of all, how are you going to judge me?
I have a good time. I do what I do. You and your relationship that you have had with a woman for 7 years and you're all in an uproar with me. Why are you talking about what I do?
I am sorry. Roll
Why?
back. What?
We talking about what I do.
have never had no relationship with no
Oh,
woman.
you haven't. You haven't.
No, I never.
Okay, I'll give you her information because you need to call her. This girl is
Please.
literally telling people that you were in a full-on blown-on relationship with her and that you broke up with her. You ended it abruptly when people
You
found
just
out.
made that up.
No, I did not. I'm from Atlanta.
I'm from Atlanta too.
I know that girl.
No, I am from Atlanta.
Candy, everyone knows what you do. It's not a secret that you did back in the day with all those R&B groups you slept with here and there.
I know you aren't going into people who slept with R&B groups. Girl, you was a freak hoe.
You was a freak hoe.
No, bye.
Candy, you really do need to own up to something. Right now, you're like, I'm an angel, and Todd and I fucked one bitch in our bed. Well, you're lying, and I know it.
That's not a lie.
Your house is an international house of hoes, and you know it.
You're an international hoe.
Candy confessional.
She met my daughter's father because she was screwing one of the other rappers that he knew. Said she was passed around. You weren't there just because you was cute.
Back in the scene. So you like that your husband has other chicks that he goes with?
What chicks are you talking about?
Okay, so you think that you're just sharing in your room. Okay, matter of fact, why don't you call Todd and ask him about what he told a girl in New York this past weekend?
Okay, please. What am I going to ask?
Tell him that his name is Marvin so he can cheat.
Who?
Marvin, his alias? So that's what you need to worry about.
Marvin.
Portia confessional. All of that is in the streets of Atlanta. Probably the same streets Mama Joyce is listening to. I'm out there too, boo-boo. Might want to clean that up before bringing all this attention to Portia. Go clean them streets up. Clean them blogs up that are talking about you, boo-boo.
At the end of the day, man.
Oh, you bring up one statement that I made, and now you're bringing it all the way to the left.
Man, if you sit up here talking about some 7-year relationship I had with some woman...
Yes. That's one of the facts.
That is no fact. What is a fact, bitch, is that you told me you wanted to eat my fucking pussy,
Did
bitch.
I eat your rotten pussy, bitch? Hell no.
Aw, this pussy tastes like sugar, bitch.
Candy, I'm not into teacups, short and stout.
I know you fucking did. I know you did.
Oh, you are not my type.
Girl, bye.
And I'm going to give you the girl's number. I'll text it to you later.
Please do, man.
Because I want you to talk to that girl and be able to, do what you do. But you and your husband and what y'all do, you might want to have those chicks sign some NDAs.
Girl, goodbye. I'm done.
All right. Ask him about last
Girl,
night.
I can't with you. Have some real information next time.
Yeah. Toodles, bitch.
Wow.
Scene.
It reads like a dream. It really does. It flows.
I'm not into teacups, short and stout.
I mean, again, the one-liners that these girls have. International House of Hoes.
So good.
That would never like I would never be able to grab for that in my head at the moment in the middle of a fight. It would
And
never
they're grabbing
come to
for
me.
it so quick.
It comes to them. It's like,
when I read the scene again, I felt like, wow, Portia really got Candy on her heels.
oh, she did. Because she's telling lies. Like you can't, when someone's telling lies about you, you can't defend them. You have no ammunition because they surprise you and they're not true.
And I wish, I could have shown this with my acting, but at the end, after the last line, yeah, toodles, bitch, I remember Portia just like took a sip of her cleanse and looked out at the skyline. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. I couldn't sit in that like that.
Oh no, I
would
honestly
run screaming.
blow my head off if I had a fight like that.
I would have just said, I would just gone into the bathroom and cried, never come out. Like it would have been over.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, thanks for listening.
Thank you. We only had one real episode to talk about this week, but it felt, there was so much to discuss.
So much to unpack. And I'm glad we revisited that scene with Atlanta before we go back.
Yeah, do it before we move forward next week. I think we have a lot in store. We'd also like to give a little bitch sesh shout out to Anne. She's the mother of Greg Bonetti, I believe is pronounced. And we're thinking of her. I know she's this kick-ass mom. She's there for her son. She is a warrior. She is fighting hard and doing great. And we
heard she's listening to the podcast and just wanted to give her some love and say, we're thinking of you.
Yeah. And your son loves you. And you must be an amazing mother to have a son who wrote to us and said these wonderful things about you. So you did a good job. You done good.
You done real good. Guys, have a great week and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Aha! It has worked! Now, gentle listener, you are enraptured by the voice of Usador the Wizard, for I have cast a spell upon thee that shall force you to listen to the ad at the end of this podcast.
Thank you, Usador. We're here to let you know that you should listen to our podcast, Hello from the Magic Tavern, a serious study of what it's like to be trapped in another dimension, although you might just think it's an improv comedy podcast.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. Here we go. If you're going to lay down, you might as well lay down on
No, John, we're not doing that right now. We've only got a couple seconds to let listeners know about our podcast, where I interview wizards, unicorns,
And goblins, and wedding planners.
If you love fantasy stuff, you'll love this podcast. If you hate fantasy stuff, who the are you kidding? You're not cool. What are you listening to? Oh, I'm a comedy nerd. I'm better than a fantasy nerd.
And now you are released from my spell. Return to your life and listen ne'er again to the end of a podcast.
Hello from the Magic Tavern. Listen from the beginning or just jump into the most recent episode. You'll get it. It's not The Wire.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Chris Bannon, and Colin Anderson. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.